Good afternoon, fans. This is your girl from Mel's Match Hat, and this is your official Mel's Match Hat episode 281. How is everybody doing on this lovely Friday afternoon? Hopefully, everybody's enjoying it, and they are just relaxing and hanging out. I posted a short on, I think it was Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. I am so I can give you more of my content and everything. I am doing Ring of Honor Saturdays. I'm going to I'm going to watch the show, and then I'm going to give you the complete rundown, the whole gambit, my thoughts, everything. And it's going to be just a, little something on Saturday. Now it's going to change when either there's a WWE pay-per-view or premium live event, or there's an AEW premium live event, which that means that will be on the preview and predictions, and then that week, that Saturday, you won't see a Ring of Honor Saturday. So it's an executive decision, and it gets me done here quicker that I can, enjoy the rest of my Friday. So, I hope everybody enjoyed Revolution Weekend. We have some news coming out of that. We'll get to that when we start the run throughs of the shows, and that's pretty much basically about it. Also, to give you the rundowns of Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, I want to say thank you to Ringside News because they are the ones that are giving me all the info. So thank you to them. And I was also told by one of the commentators I listened to, JD from New York, that tonight's House of Glory will not be on Fight TV. Listen to me. It will not be on Fight TV. If they have any other decisions, they will, if they reconsider, I will make sure that you guys go out and watch it, and I will retweet it and whatnot. But as of right this minute, Glory becomes, I think, Glory becomes Honor, or Honor becomes Glory, will not be on Fight TV. But does it give you the option to not go and subscribe to Fight TV Plus? It's only $7.99 a month. I got locked in by the old amount, so I love when I jump on things really quickly. It's really a good situation altogether. Now, you probably wonder why I'm drinking a liquid death with a straw. It has nothing to do with me, had surgery or anything like that. It's actually the iced tea. I wouldn't go out of my way to go and get this. All right. If you don't like your iced teas sweet, this is going to be your jam. I like mine on the sweeter side, and I like the lemonade to be pungent, not pungent, but tart. So yeah, this is not what I would be going out and purpose. I have to taste the peach, and then they have a melon sparkling water. So I'm excited to go try that. But 2 out of the 3, not my cup of tea, no pun intended. But hey, they have, if it's your cup of tea, go out, go get it. I thoroughly trust Liquid Death. They have Righteous sparkling water, which is the unflavored, which oh my god, it ruined me. I can't even have LaCroix anymore. That's how good it is. I drink it plain and I'm good to go. So I want everybody to go check that out at Liquid Death. I know this is going to not be the same situation, but I'm trying to make it as top priority and everything. Please, also, if you're going to, they just came out with like an Irish mint whiskey flavored coffee from Death Wish Coffee. So if you are into that, go check that out. It's at Liquid Death, not Liquid Death, deathwishcoffee.com. Now, if you have a beard problem and you need to make sure it's like nice and soft and nice and like silky, the hair, do yourself a favor. Go check out the people over at Maestro Classics at maestroclassics.com. Also, please go check out the people over at harrys.com for all your shaving and toiletry essentials. All right, let's get to this. This was AEW. I'm going to do AEW. Then we do WWE now. We flipped it because I don't watch the product anymore. It's, I only report on stuff that's like big and everything like that. And that's basically about it. Let me fix my computer, push it down, be a little bit more. And all right, this is episode 281 of Mel's Mat Chat. Tonight's episode of AEW was broadcast live from the Golden One Center in Sacramento. This was on Wednesday. We start off at the All-Atlantic Championship match. Freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy versus Jay Lethal. Danhausen was wearing a sling courtesy of the Guns and the 310 to Yuma from the match at Revolution. The AEW referee corp sent Dutt, Jarrett, and Singh to the back before the match began. Lethal was quite upset about this turn of events, as his cohorts were banned from ringside. Orange is the hottest wrestler in AEW. He's 22-1, said Shivani. Cassidy was wrestling a very scientific match early on. Lethal was looking for a lethal injection, but Cassidy anticipated it and tried to counter with the swinging DDT. But it was scouted by Lethal. Orange Cassidy rammed Lethal into the ring post. Lethal fought back by whipping Orange into the steel ring steps. Cassidy reversed a hammer throw into the ropes, but Lethal blocked Orange Cassidy. Lethal picked up Orange and plowed him into the steel ring post with a knee breaker. Cassidy pulled back with 2 DDTs for a near fall. Orange tried to push off his leg for the Orange Punch, but his leg gave out. Lethal tried to capitalize with a figure 4. Orange made a gator roll to the bottom rope to force the ref to break the hold. Lethal taunted Orange on the apron, encouraged him to hit him. Orange clobbered Lethal with a lariat. Orange cradled Lethal, made Lethal inside the ring, but Lethal was quick to his feet and fired off the lethal combination. Jay Lethal climbed to the top rope, searching for the elbow drop, but Orange blocked it. Lethal countered the Orange Punch. Jay Lethal attempted the lethal injection, but his arm collapsed when he tried to plant the handstand. Orange rocked Jay Lethal with the Orange Punch and then pinned Jay Lethal. Jay Lethal's left shoulder collapsed. Perhaps he was on autopilot, but now Orange has won 15 of his last 16 matches, he said Excalibur. Jay Lethal grabbed the stolen Golden Globe after the match, frustrated and angered by the loss, but the referee Bryce Remsburg sent Lethal to the back. Jeff Jarrett jumped into the ring from behind and hit the stroke on Orange. Jeff Jarrett smashed his guitar across Orange Cassidy's knee. So then the best friends chased Jarrett out of the ring. Jeff Jarrett getting the last laugh here tonight, said Excalibur. So he ends up getting a fucking goddamn title match next week in Canada. Why are we seeing fucking goddamn Jeff Jarrett, a fucking 50-year-old man, getting title opportunities, but fucking Miro is nowhere to be found. I'm just saying. Renee Paquette interviewed Powerhouse Hobbs backstage. Hobbs said it was a shame that Wardlow's car was broken into and that Wardlow's gear and belt were stolen. Yes, some idiot broke into his car and stole his gear and the TNT championship. That title's fucking goddamn cursed. Absolute Ricky Starks came out to the ring. Starks, wow, for the past 10, 11 days, I spent my time here in California. On top of that, I beat Chris Jericho at Revolution. So I think I'm having a hell of a week. Week after week, I've taken down the JAS. I've taken down Chris Jericho. I've done it all from TV to pay-per-views, and people ask, Ricky, what's next for you? And the answer is, I'm not sure. The question that weighs on my mind is not what I'm going to do next, but where am I going to go next? A logo appeared on the screen. It was the Bullet Club symbol. Out of nowhere, Juice Robinson blindsides Ricky Starks from behind, making a statement at the expense of Absolute Ricky Starks. I guess now, since Tony Storm is heel, now Juice Robinson. Juice Robinson was always heel. All right, so people don't get it twisted. And the new leader, quote unquote, the new supervisor, because there's no leader, it's a supervisor of the Bullet Club, is none other than David Finlay, Juice Robinson, tag team partner. So we could be possibly seeing the reunification of Finjuice under the Bullet Club moniker. So Tony Schiavone interviewed Wardlow backstage. Wardlow, I've deal with a great deal of loss lately. Fortunately, some buddies of mine let me borrow some clothes. So since I'm dressed for the occasion, how about we do Falls Count Anywhere, anything goes match. Hobbs, I am the TNT champion. No man on earth is going to take that away from me. Renee Paquette interviewed Ruby Soho in the ring. Out on the ramp, Ruby was accompanied by Saraya and Tony Storm. Ruby, I think it's obvious. I don't think it comes to no surprise to anybody. You all created this monster. Let's just run it back really quick. Renee, my first title match was at Grand Slam against Britt Baker. And then when she beat me, these people were thrilled. So let's fast forward to the semifinals of the Owen Hart Cup, when I faced Chris Statlander in the semifinals, and I was booed out of the ring. And then I was booed against Jamie Hayter. No one in AEW was ever going to appreciate me. But I'm not the only one. Tony Storm came here and she wasn't appreciated. And everyone begged Saraya to come out of retirement, and she goes, and all four fat mouth breathing trolls came at her in a moment's notice. We've been outcasts since the day we came to AEW. We can't build on broken foundation. We can only start anew. The broken foundation are the entitled rookies in the back. Speaking of entitled rookies, let's bring out my opponent, another homegrown in Sky Blue. I want to mention something. Yesterday was International Women's Day. And fucking Saraya, or Saraya, whatever, comes out and says, oh, this would be perfect with tag team titles for the women. Tony Khan can't even book fucking goddamn the 3 titles that he's responsible for in the women's division in Ring of Honor and AEW. Saraya, stop it, okay? I didn't want you back in the first place, okay? You weren't needed in any sort of way. You were fine doing whatever you were doing. Or I have an idea. Why don't you take those imaginary titles? Go call Mr. Xavier Woods. Go call Mr. Brad Maddox. And I think you three could consummate the fucking titles and christen them all times 2. Yes, I fucking went there, okay? Don't come in at me. Renee Paquette was backstage. Jesus Christ, she's all over the place. Where the fuck is Marnez or whatever his name is? Jesus Christ. I can't stand Renee. She is not needed there. She's out of her element. Stay on the podcasting, okay? And the only reason why Renee has got a job there is because of her fucking husband. With a battered Hangman Page. Physically, I've been better, but my mind, my heart, my soul, all is well. Sunday, I let that heart blacken, but let that serve as a warning. I've given you a lot of flack for these interviews, but I owe you an apology. Renee, as for Mox, I'm finished. FTR, Dax Hardwood, and Cash Wheeler came out to the ring to be interviewed by, finally, another person, Tony Schiavone. My God. Cash, I miss that. The entire arena cheering. I want to talk about how bad the last few months have been. We've lost to the Acclaim. We've lost to the Guns. We've lost 3 sets of tag team titles in roughly a month. We lost one of our best friends in the world, but we knew we needed to step away. We know we needed to recharge. But I can't sit home and watch Austin and Colton Gunn call themselves the best tag team. You're the AEW tag team champions. You are the future, but you're also spoiled, entitled assholes. Dax, I love you all. Remember, December we closed a book on the greatest trilogy of matches we had in our careers. I know we knew that we did something special in this business, but that feeling was taken away by the Guns. Now it's time for retribution and to get even. We got to hit you where it hurts. Now we've got to beat you and finally become the AEW World Tag Team Champions. We've got to do it for us, for the Briscoes, and for you all. Top guys out. These 2 are fucking sneaking into my heart. You know, it's kind of pulling out my heartstrings. They kind of got something in my eye, you know. I have to take 2 ibuprofen, because I'm starting to get a migraine. So just bear with me. I have to take it, because if I don't take it now, I'm going to be in trouble, okay? Just give me 1 second. And I forgot to take my morning medication, so give me a second. Oh. Never get old, okay? Renee Paquette. Here we go again. Another Renee Paquette. I like to see somebody different, you know. Renee was backstage with TBS champion Jay Cargill. I'm undefeated, 53 and 0. No, 52 and 1. And for your all JD fans, you'll understand why I said that. Seeing how we're going to Canada next week, why don't we bring out the best that Canada has? And I am so big on charity. Why don't one of you whack Canadians step up? I like to see fucking Taya Valkyrie come out of fucking nowhere and fucking deck her ass. Trios match. AR Fox, Top Flight, Dante Martin, and Darius Martin versus the Jericho Appreciation Society of Ocho, Chris Jericho, Daniel Garcia, and Sammy Guevara. AR Fox went over top rope and rocked Chris Jericho. Sammy tagged in and body slammed AR Fox. Dante tagged in, springboard off the ropes and into a right hand from Daniel Garcia. Fox tagged in and splashed Garcia in the corner. Fox hit Garcia with a cutter. Fox drop kicked Jericho and went down on the back of Sammy's head with 2-for-1 offense. Fox smashed Garcia with a cutter for a near fall. Fox knows how to use his athleticism well, said Taz. Jericho tagged in. Darius was there with a one-handed Spanish fly for a 2 count. Darius connected with a back-flipping kick on Jericho. Chris Jericho was looking for the walls for Darius, turned it around for a near fall. Darius ran the ropes, but Haggart cracked Darius with the baseball bat, and then Jericho finished Darius with a Judas effect for the victory. Angela Parker. What you just witnessed is the greatest trios victory in AEW history. Matt Menard. Did you know that tonight marks the 1-year anniversary of the Jericho Appreciation Society? For over 52 weeks, the epitome of sports entertainment. Garcia. After such a beautiful victory, I think it's appropriate that the JAS are the number 1 contenders for the AEW Trios titles. Wow, you have one fucking match and you're the number 1 contenders. Wow, does that sound like a WWE booking? I mean, Jesus Christ. I call what's a spade here. I mean, it's ridiculous. So, like we said, we're deeming ourselves the number 1 contenders for the AEW Trios Championship. So, House of Black, turn off the lights, and get in the ring. The former AEW World Trios Champions, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, the Elite, came out to the ramp. Omega. Oh, hi, Chris. We stayed out of your business and you stayed out of our business. And I like to think that came from a place of respect. Don Callis. Jesus Christ, can you let fucking Kenny Omega do the promo? You were not needed, all right? If those 3 go to WWE, you are not going to be needed. They can fucking do their own promos. All right? So you better do whatever you have to do to keep your fucking meal tickets, Mr. Callis. Let me handle this. Chris, everyone knows the Elite established the AEW World Trios Championships. I agree with those that say you are the greatest professional wrestlers of all time. Unfortunately, Chris, you're the second best wrestler from Winnipeg. And Chris, I feel like if I had a couple of months to train, you'd be the third best. Jericho, don't get your ass and bring your friends down here. The House of Black appeared on the ring in the ramp area. Malachi Black, next week, if you want these, the lights in the arena went dark, and when the lights turned back on, the AEW World Trios champs the House of Black were standing in the aisles between the Elite and the JAS. Malachi Black, come and get them. The arena went dark again, and the House of Black vanished when the lights came back on. Taz explained that the gauntlet has been thrown down, and next week, with the House of Black against the Elite against the JAS. AEW President CEO Tony Khan was backstage with another fucking announcement. I would love to know for the people who continue to feed this guy his fucking ego trips. These announcements can be done on Twitter. I know it's a very simple thing. It's a very novel concept. But now he's using those fucking stupid announcements just to get over 1 million. And it's going to continue. He's going to continue doing this, and people are going to hopefully catch on and say, "What the? This could have been on Twitter. This is a waste of my time." He's going to be on more and more, and he always said he never wanted to be on TV, only if it was necessary. These are not necessary. You can fucking tell Tony Schiavone or Excalibur or even fucking JR to make the announcement. My God, it's fucking shameless. It's ridiculous. So Tony Khan, next week, it'll be Orange Cassidy against the Jeff Jarrett for the AEW International Championship. We leveled up the All-Atlantic Championship in AEW. Basically, they've revamped it. It's now the International. Basically, it's the Intercontinental Championship without being the Intercontinental Championship. Because they can't use Intercontinental because fucking WWE will say, hey, you're copying us, you know? I mean, that's why I think they got rid of it in New Japan, because it was getting confusing with the WWE, so they just said, let's just get rid of it. Which I think it was fine, to tell you the God's honest truth. But that's just me. Footage was played of an emotional American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, after his loss to MJF at Sunday's Revolution. Danielson said he was ashamed he tapped out to the AEW World Champ MJF, and maybe it's time for Danielson to go home. Go home where? Go home where? The Dark Order, Alex Reynolds and John Silver versus the Blackpool Combat Club, Ring of Honor World Champion Claudio Castagnoli and Jon Moxley. Moxley and Silver exchanged chops. Claudio tagged in and steamrolled over Silver with a lariat. Silver had a leverage advantage and suplexed Claudio. Mox tagged in and stomped away at Silver, and Claudio tagged back in and smashed Silver in the face with a leg drop. Silver dropped Claudio chin first on the turnbuckles and then tagged in Reynolds. Alex Reynolds served up a shot of Moxley. With a tope. Back in the ring, Reynolds climbed to the top rope, but Claudio shoved him to the arena floor. Mox quickly ran up to Reynolds and hurled him across the timekeeper's table. Silver tagged in and clobbered Moxley with a German suplex. Moxley got to his feet and hit Silver with roundhouse kicks. John Silver clubbed Mox with hammer and fists and started to blast Mox with thunderous knee strikes. Claudio came in and kicked Silver. The Dark Order connected with combo offense on Claudio and then Moxley. Moxley grabbed a rear naked choke on Reynolds and then threw him with a half and half suplex. Moxley put Reynolds in another choke and forced Reynolds to tap out. After the match, Mox put Reynolds in a bulldog choke. Silver tried to help his partner, but Claudio intercepted him and tossed Silver over the top rope. Evil Uno ran to the ring, and even up the odds, but Wheeler Yuta blocked Evil Uno. Hangman Adam Page sprinted to the ring. He decked Claudio, then Claudio charged at him. The Blackpool Combat Club started to triple team Hangman. The Dark Order jumped back into the ring, and the referee separated the Blackpool Combat Club from the Dark Order and Hangman Adam Page. "We have restored order here," said Excalibur. What a surprise! We're going to another interview with Renee Paquette. She's interviewing the Acclaim. The interview was interrupted by Matt Menard and Angela Parker. Menard: "Chris Jericho and the Jericho Appreciation Society really love the Acclaim." Angela: "We know you're sports entertainers." Anthony Bowens: "No chance." Max Caster: "We're on TV more than you." The Acclaim and Daddy Ass laughed hysterically and walked away. Main event time. TNT Championship match. Falls count anywhere. Anything goes. Wardlow versus Powerhouse Hobbs. Justin Roberts introduced Wardlow, but after some time, the broadcast team wondered where Wardlow was. The camera crew was in the parking lot ramp. Wardlow and Powerhouse Hobbs were brawling. Hobbs heaved a keg at Wardlow, but Wardlow ducked. Hobbs suplexed Wardlow onto the hood of a car. Wardlow dropkicked Hobbs onto the windshield of the car. They raged through the arena and then brawled into the arena. "This is a pinfall, knockout, or surrender," said Excalibur. Hobbs spiked Wardlow with a spinebuster, but Wardlow got right back up to his feet. They slugged it out in the center of the ring. Wardlow took Hobbs off his feet with a massive lariat. Wardlow connected with an F10 for a near fall on Wardlow. Hobbs drilled Wardlow with a third spinebuster of the match. Hobbs set up a table. Wardlow spat a drink into Hobbs' face. Wardlow jumped off the top rope with a senton press down onto Hobbs, smashing Hobbs through the table. The fans chanted, "This is awesome, this is awesome, this is awesome." Wardlow powerbombed Powerhouse Hobbs onto the ramp. "Wardlow may have hurt himself on that," said Tony Schiavone. They battled in front of the broadcast booth. QT Marshall came out of nowhere and cracked Wardlow with a steel chair. QT Marshall had a polo shirt with the logo QTV embroidered onto it. QT helped Hobbs to get to his feet. QT yelled, "It's your time." Hobbs and QT powerbombed Wardlow off the stage. Wardlow couldn't get to his feet, knocked out, and lost the belt that he couldn't answer to the count of 10. Now, never expect QT to burst back onto the scene, but nevertheless, we have a new TNT champion, said Taz. So next week, they're going to be in the Canada Life Center in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. And that's the end of Dynamite. So we are going... Why am I moving this? I have no freaking clue to save my life. Let's go to Monday Night Raw. No, not Monday Night Raw. SmackDown. Sorry. All right, SmackDown from Friday, last week. Friday Night SmackDown is set to feature the face-to-face confrontation between Roman Reigns and his WrestleMania challenger, the Nightmare Cody Rhodes. The SmackDown will also see two big singles matches as Sami Zayn goes one-on-one with Solo Sequoia, and Rhea Ripley takes on Liv Morgan. It should be interesting to see how things play out on Friday night show. SmackDown kicks off with Roman Reigns and the rest of the bloodline making their way into the ring, except the absence of Jey Uso. Heyman hands the mic to Reigns, and we get an obligatory acknowledgement from the Washington, D.C. crowd. Reigns is immediately cut off by the entrance of Cody Rhodes, who enters the ring to tell Reigns he is not here to invade. He is here to have a conversation with his WrestleMania opponent, and that he sees no reason for anyone else to be there. Reigns tells everyone to leave the ring. Reigns drops both of his belts on the mat and asks Cody what he would like to talk about. Rhodes congratulates Reigns on his legendary title run he has had. Rhodes says that Reigns has become this impossible mountain to climb, which is something he's used to from Stardust to his friends and their indie show. Reigns simply points to his title belts and asks if he ever won that title or even competed for it. Yes, he actually did. He actually went he actually faced Randy Orton. So he did go for the WWE Championship. Little known fact, people. They love to miss things when you can go back and do your research. Because he's pretty sure he's done it all, and that and is most experienced main event of all time. Reigns says he has been groomed to do this since he was a child, not just by his father, but by Rhodes's father as well. Reigns says said many times before that Dusty Rhodes is the first person to make Reigns believe in himself. And Reigns does a perfect Dusty Rhodes impression, no less. Reigns says Dusty always said he was destined to be the star and that he is today. And that Dusty never said anything to Reigns about Cody, like he didn't even exist. Reigns tells Cody that he misses Dusty too. But if there's anything Dusty didn't teach Cody, Reigns himself will. Reigns holds out his hand for Cody to shake. Cody speaks in disbelief. He said, "It's not even playing on the same field." Cody calls beating Reigns it's unnecessary. That in his reality he has to exist, and the only way for him to do that is to beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. And Rhodes shakes hands with Reigns. We go to a commercial break. We have Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan. The match begins with Morgan immediately hitting a drop kick. Morgan hits an arm drag takedown and off a springboard dive. Morgan is caught and slammed down to the mat. Morgan goes for a tope suicida on the outside, but is hit with a right hand from Rhea. We go to commercial break. The match continues with Ripley hitting a forearm strike to Morgan's lower back. Morgan flips out of a back suplex and hits a backstabber. Morgan goes to the middle rope and hits a diving code breaker, and Morgan covers for a 2 count. Morgan goes for the Oblivion, but Ripley catches her. Morgan escapes and hits an enziguri. Morgan goes to the top rope and dives, but Ripley counters and hits a powerbomb. Ripley hits a riptide and locks in a cloverleaf. Morgan taps out. Winner, Rhea Ripley. And then we had this stupid fucking goddamn little girl, which she cried. Moms and dads, please do your due diligence and tell these kids this is a scripted fucking sport, all right? There's good guys and there's bad guys. And that girl was not able to handle what was in that arena. She cried, and that's it. So now it's going to give every fucking kid to cry so they could go get free shit and meet the WWE superstars. Nice work, WWE. You just gave in to sniveling fucking spoiled rotten brat children now. Good work. Good work. We come back from a commercial break, back live with Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio walking backstage. The two are approached by Santos Escobar. Escobar says he understands why Rey didn't hit Dominic, but he will. Escobar challenges Dominic Mysterio to a match up next. Escobar walks away and winks at Ripley, which greatly angers Dominic as Ripley holds him back. I want to make this an announcement. It was on Wednesday that Backlash will be hailing from Puerto Rico, my mother island. Yes, I say mother island because my grandmother is from Puerto Rico. I have family. I have la familia or mi familia. And I am so beyond proud and so beyond pride. My Puerto Rican pride is coming out of me. I am so prideful of my heritages. I am Puerto Rican, I'm German, I'm Italian, and I'm Irish. And I am so proud to be them. And when something of my heritage, it gets spotlighted either in sports or, on TV and everything like that, it just warms my heart. So they're going to Puerto Rico in May. I wish I was going. Shit. I wish I was going. I cannot wait. That's one of my bucket lists. I want to visit Puerto Rico and visit my family. I want to just immerse myself in my culture. And no matter if I was from there or I'm not from there, that is where I have family. I have cousins. I have great aunts and uncles. I have so much family down there. My grandmother has told me. My great grandmother is one of 14 children. So I have family down there. I have distant cousins, and they know all about me. In fact, side note here, in 2020, before the pandemic, the pandemic hit, I went to Florida for about a week. I was down there and everything like that, but I was flying down there. I was trying to beat the clock because I wanted to visit my grandmother's aunt. I called her Titi Munchi, and she always asked for me. And I wanted to go visit her, and she was on her deathbed. I just was glad in 2019 I got to see her, and I'm going to tell you a funny story about her. As I was the morning of, I got the phone call from my grandmother that she passed away, and I was so upset that I couldn't be there, and I couldn't bring myself to go to the funeral, so I couldn't go, and I was so overly whelmed with grief I couldn't go. But the year before I go, she asked for me. She's like, I want Melissa to come and see me. Can you bring her? Blah blah blah. I said, of course. Anything for Titi Munchi. So we go, and I go visit her, and my grandmother and her are talking, and I go into her room, and I wanted to, say, I missed her, and, I love her, and stuff like that. And I'm thinking all this fucking time she can't speak a word of fucking English. I am legitimately, I had no idea I was, that's why my grandmother was there. She spoke perfect Spanish. So I'm trying to go very slowly so that my grandmother could translate. My grandmother's not fucking translating. I said, Grandma, what the hell? Translate. I'm talking here. So then Titi Munchi, the fucking motherfucking OG badass bitch that she is, she says, I got something to tell you. She said it in Spanish, so my grandmother translated it. She says, I've known English all my life. And I'm like, oh, shit. I was so mortified. I was so mortified that I I started I couldn't stop saying "ay dos míos." I just kept saying "ay dos míos." I was legitimately mortified. I said, "So wait a minute. You knew what I was saying the entire time when I was down here with my son when he was 3." He was like, "Yeah, I knew what you were saying the entire time. I thought you knew that I spoke English." I said, "Your niece never freaking said anything to me. I just, because you were from Puerto Rico, I didn't know." So, yeah, that was the funny story. Like, I'll always have that. I always will have that, and it's something that, will, I can look back, and that's like a good time. And I'm just happy that after, like, I think 18 years, WWE is going back to Puerto Rico, and I may be watching it just so that I could support my fellow Puerto Ricans. So that is that. Let's move on and get back to the rest of the run through of SmackDown. Yes, I kind of always go and veer off to other places, but if you're new here, you'll understand. I don't mind sharing my private life. It's the extent of the private life. I don't tell you everything. Just tell funny stories about my family when it pertains to wrestling, And since they're going back to Puerto Rico, and I thought, it would be a great story to tell about my it's great grand aunt, I think, because it's my grandmother's aunt, my father's great aunt, my great grand aunt, and now my son's great great grand aunt. Ay ay ay, maron. So let's just get back to Santos Escobar versus Dominic Mysterio. We go back live with Santos Escobar making his entrance. Escobar comes out to the ring alone without the rest of Legado del Fantasma. Escobar comes out holding the mask of that Rey Mysterio has gifted him a few weeks ago. The match kicks off with Dominic immediately ducking under the ropes to force the ref to hold Escobar back. Dominic takes advantage and hits Escobar with a cheap shot. Escobar hold Dominic next to the ring, next to the Rey's mask, and asks him if he respects his legacy. Dominic says no and spits on the face, on the mask, and Escobar proceeds to suplex him off the top rope. Escobar locks in Dominic in the surfboard submission. We go to commercial break. Back live with Dominic sending Escobar to the ropes. Instead of going for the 619, Dominic hits a knee to the back of the head. Escobar powers off the ropes with a flurry of strikes before Dominic hits a big lariat in the corner. Michael Cole on commentary says there would be no Dominic without the legacy of Rey. He said, "It's not me." Escobar hits a leg drop, and both wrestlers spring off the ropes and have a head-to-head collision. Dominic grabs brass knucks, and as the ref tries to confiscate them, Ripley pulls Escobar out of the ring and hits the riptide and throws him back in the ring. Dominic hits the frog splash and covers for the 1, 2, 3. Dominic Mysterio picks up the victory, and he is slowly building his match for WrestleMania. After the match, Dominic steals the Rey Mysterio mask and rips it. Rey Mysterio then comes out to confront his son. Dominic again gets in Rey's face and screams at him to hit him, and Rey again refuses. Dominic drops the ripped mask, and as Rey goes to grab it, Dominic hits a cheap shot to the back of Rey's head. Dominic and Ripley walk to the back as Rey sits on the floor holding the ripped mask and shaking his head. I love this whole thing with Rey Mysterio and Dominic. Oh my God. I love it. I love it. We come back from commercial break. SmackDown returns with Drew McIntyre in the ring. This is another one that this is going to get good. McIntyre says that 4 weeks until left until WrestleMania, and he still doesn't have a match. McIntyre says there is a certain individual he wants, and McIntyre calls out Gunther, and Sheamus then comes out, and McIntyre looks just as confused as I am. Sheamus says that McIntyre, of all people, knows just how much the Intercontinental title means to him, and how badly he wants to face Gunther at WrestleMania. Sheamus calls McIntyre a backstabbing bastard. McIntyre says the truth is Sheamus had his chance and lost. The two are interrupted by LA Knight. McIntyre and Sheamus continue to argue as an incredibly overnight cuts his promo before being interrupted by the New Day. My God, can we have a WrestleMania without them? Seriously. Kingston says Knight wants a WrestleMania match but can't even win a match on SmackDown. Our next participant in this segment is Karrion Kross, who comes down to the ring in full color entrance with Scarlett. LA Knight used his distraction to attack Kofi from behind. All hell breaks loose, and it's once again just Sheamus and McIntyre in the ring. McIntyre dives over the rope to take out the New Day and LA Knight. Kross sneaks in the ring to take out Sheamus and to be the lone man standing in the ring. God, I hope this is a ladder match. OMG. I understand we want Sheamus, but he could get it at any time. They can dump the title on him at any time. If they ever go back to Clash of the Castle, that could actually be anywhere in the UK. Get it in fucking Dublin, Ireland. Have the fucking title be put on him there. Bam. We're good to go. Or they're going back there. I think they're going... No, they're going to be in there for not Money in the Bank, which I forgot when the fuck Money in the Bank is. Oh my God. It's in July. Sorry. See where my mind has been. Ay, ay, ay. We go to commercial break. Shayna Baszler versus Tegan Nox. These matches with the women are fucking minute matches. This one is definitely fucking goddamn Molly Holly. Jesus Christ. I would be surprised if it's not. The match begins with Nox hitting a dropkick. Baszler goes to stop Nox's elbow, but Nox counters it with a head scissors takedown. Nox gets inside cradle for a 2 count. Baszler hits a knee to the face and then locks in an armbar, and Nox taps out. Winner Shayna Baszler. Michael Cole is recapping the match on commentary when, to the shock of both the crowd and commentary team making their way out to the ring, Bobby Lashley walks into the ring as the footage is cut off in a typical Bray Wyatt style. We come back from commercial break, back live with Lashley in the ring. Lashley says he doesn't run from anyone. Lashley says since Wyatt isn't going to see him face to face, Lashley has come to SmackDown to see Wyatt, and Lashley calls for Wyatt to come out to the ring. As the video package is displayed on Titantron, Uncle Howdy attacks Lashley from behind. Lashley is able to power slam Uncle Howdy and goes for the spear, but the lights cut out, and when they come back on, Howdy is nowhere to be seen. We come back from commercial break. Main event time, Solo Sikoa versus Sami Zayn. Our main event starts with Zayn running to the ring and attacking Solo Sikoa with a series of quick punches. Jimmy Uso runs in the ring and is tossed over and out by Zayn. Zayn then dives to the top rope to take out both Jimmy and Sikoa. Sikoa gets back in the ring and the bell officially rings. Sikoa charges at Zayn, who sends Sikoa over the top rope. Zayn follows outside and Jimmy Uso causes a distraction that allows Sikoa to hit a lariat. Sikoa throws Sikoa over the Zayn over the barricade to the timekeeper's area. We come back from commercial. The main event resumes live with Zayn hitting a big lariat to Sequoia. Sequoia knocks Zayn down to the corner and then hits a Rikishi running splash. Zayn fights his way free and goes to the top rope and hits Sequoia with a tornado DDT. Zayn goes back up top to hit a flying crossbody. Zayn dodges a running splash in the corner and hits with a blue thunder bomb, and Zayn covers for a 2. Zayn goes for the helluva kick, but Jimmy pulls the rope to allow Sequoia to avoid the escape. The corner and escapes the corner. Sequoia then hits Samoan Spike and covers for a 3. Winner, Solo Sequoia. After the bell, Jimmy and Sequoia continue to beat down Zayn. Sequoia grabs a chair and places Zayn's head through the corner into the corner. Zayn pops out of the corner and throws the chair to Sequoia and hits Jimmy with a helluva kick. Zayn leaves the ring and escapes to the crowd, and as SmackDown goes off the air. Before this whole thing, Roman is being pissed because Jay has been nowhere to be found. So Monday, does Roman Reigns give him an ultimatum? We're gonna see. Monday Night Raw. With a little over a month away, WrestleMania 39, WWE will look to build out these storylines as we head into the biggest event of the year, which means that tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw promises another exciting night of action. As John Cena makes his highly anticipated return to Raw, the anticipated match card for the show is as follows. Mustafa Ali has a surprise for Dolph Ziggler. John Cena returns. Johnny Gargano versus Finn Balor. Kevin Owens versus Solo Sikoa. That seems coinky-dink too. Seth Rollins and Logan Paul face to face. Bianca Belair versus Carmella. Jimmy Uso versus Sami Zayn. WWE opens with the Bloodline arrived in a black SUV without Reigns. Heyman tells Jimmy that Reigns was explicit and they should solve the Sami Zayn problem, but he survived and he is here in Boston tonight. He says it's an opportunity for tonight. Heyman says Solo will solve the Owens problem tonight and Jimmy will solve the Sami Zayn problem once and forever. Then he calls Roman Reigns. So we have Kevin Owens versus Solo Sikoa. Kevin Owens goes out to the ring and Sikoa goes out to the ring. They both begin brawling and Solo sends Owens into the post. He does it again. Owens gets back in the ring. Owens attacks Solo but is knocked down. Solo attacks Owens. Owens fights back but not enough as Solo hits him with a spin kick. Solo kicks Owens. Kevin fights back but is stopped by Solo. Cover 1-2 kick out. He continues to attack Owens. He hits him with a knee to the midsection. Solo goes to work on Owens. Owens fights back with a clothesline and a senton. He goes for a cannonball, but Solo runs out to the ring. Owens hits him with a clothesline and sends him into the ring. Jimmy Uso comes out and distracts Owens, allowing Solo to throw him off the top rope. He then hits the hip attack. Owens rolls out of the ring, and then he hits another hip attack against the barricade. Come back from commercial break. Solo attacks Owen in the corner and gets him up on the top rope. Owen knocks him off. Solo hits a Samoan drop. Cover 1-2 kick out. Solo goes for a splash but hits the post. Owens with a DDT. Solo sent into the post. And Owens goes for a stunner, but he escapes. Owen takes down Jimmy on the apron and super kicks Solo. He then hits Cannonball and hits a Swanton bomb. Cover 1, 2. Jimmy attacks Owens, causing a distraction, and then Kevin wins via disqualification. Jimmy sends Owens into the steel steps, then Solo clears the announce table. Jimmy places him on the table and attacks him. Sami Zayn comes out and attacks Jimmy. And Solo sends Solo wait, Jimmy and Solo sends wait, Jimmy and Solo and sends Solo into the post. He attacks Jimmy again. He grabs a steel chair and goes to attack them, but they escape into the crowd. He offers his hand, but Owens, he rolls out of the ring and walks away. We come back from commercial break. Lashley is backstage, and he says he's tired of Wyatt's game. He said he thought coming to SmackDown would provoke him, but instead he sent Uncle Howdy. He says what it will take for Wyatt to face him like a man. Byron interviews Carmella. She says the only Adam Pearce gave her this match to get her out of his hair. And she says she will humiliate Belair. She then says this should have been a number one contenders match. Chelsea Green appears and insults Adam Pearce, who is behind them. Carmella asks her to accompany her to the ring for her match. So we have Bianca Belair versus Carmella. The match begins with Bianca knocks down Carmella. Carmella drags Bianca down by her hair. Belair with a dropkick to Carmella. Belair thrown off the second rope. We come back from a commercial break. Carmella goes to work on Bianca Belair. She takes down Belair by using her hair braid. Carmella goes for a crossbody but is caught by Belair. Carmella escapes and goes for head scissors but is caught and hit with a backbreaker. Belair with moonsault. Chelsea Green distracts the referee. Belair goes to attack Green and Carmella superkicks Belair. Cover 1-2 kick out. Belair fights back with a hammer fist in the corner. Green comes in and sent to the outside. Belair sends her over the barricade. Carmella with a roll-up, but no pinfall. Belair hits a KOD for the win. Chelsea Green attacked her from behind. Asuka music plays, and she comes out. Asuka sprays the blue mist in the eyes of Chelsea Green. She stares at Belair. Sami Zayn is backstage and tells Owens that he doesn't know what else to do. He says the bloodline is too much for anyone. He says they don't need to be best friends again, but they have the same object, but they can't do it alone. He says he was in the bloodline. Owens says he remembers that. Zayn was part of the bloodline. He said he was fighting them on his own for 8 months. He says together they could take them down, but he doesn't want to do it. He says Zayn should go back to Roman Reigns and ask him to leave him out of it. Sami walks away. Now, Roman Reigns has an ultimatum. If Jay doesn't get back into the bloodline, it's Jimmy's problem. And is this going to work in his favor, or it's going to be complete catastrophe and it's going to end up not a good situation? But we're going to find out tonight at the end of Raw. We go to commercial break. The Miz is in the ring. He said he's going to moderate the face-to-face to prepare for his hosting duties, and he says he can't have any bias. He said he will be a professional. He then introduces Logan Paul. Logan Paul comes out to the ring. Seth Rollins comes out to the ring. The Miz asks the crowd to remain quiet. Rollins prevents the Miz from talking to Logan Paul. He asks the crowd to shut up. The crowd keeps singing Rollins' song. Seth says Logan is gracing them with his presence. Seth says that not even though they've had a run-ins, they haven't been introduced, and he introduces himself. Logan says he knows who Rollins is. He says Rollins is the clown that he eliminated at the Royal Rumble. He says he embarrassed him twice. He said he's better at Seth's job than he is, and lists the things he is better at than Seth. Miz says he makes a few good points. Rollins says that Logan makes some good points. He then says that one of that is the reason he doesn't like him. He says Logan is a scum of the earth. He calls Logan a coward, a troll, a fraud. He doesn't want him in his house. He says Boston came here to watch him get his pound of flesh. He says it's time to fight. Miz then stops him and says, as a moderator, it's his job to make sure they don't fight. Logan says he's going to fight Rollins in Boston. If he wants to do it, he says he won't do it. He then says he doesn't fight for free in Boston. He then says he considered it if the stage was bigger. Miz says he's the host of WrestleMania and he could make the match happen. So he's the host and he's a matchmaker. That's Adam Pearce's job. Oh my God. Seth says Miz can happen and sends him out of the ring. Logan attacks him and goes for the stomp. Rollins fights back. The Miz tries to attack him but gets super kicked. Logan knocks Rollins with a right hand. He then asks Rollins to let him know about WrestleMania when he wakes up. We go to commercial break. We have Amos versus Dolph Ziggler. Oh Lord, oh Jesus. Amos comes out to the ring. Dolph's music goes. He comes out to the ring. The match begins with Dolph tries to lock in a sleeper, but is shrugged off Amos with a big boot, then slams Dolph for the win. Blake, it's like over. MVP gets on the mic and says Amos is all the hype he needs. He then says Brock Lesnar shouldn't have put his hands on him because Amos will tame the beast at WrestleMania. Maximum male models are backstage and they're praising someone. Baron Corbin thinks they're talking about him. He mentions all the things he's going through. They say they are talking about Otis, not him. They say he has the it factor. Isn't that some other guy's, shtick? Maxine says she will consider taking him on as a client if he handles Chad Gable. Johnny Gargano versus Finn Balor. Finn Balor's music plays and comes out with Judgment Day. They go to commercial break. The Bloodline is backstage and Heyman says Jimmy is the one who will make sure Roman never has to hear the name Sami Zayn again. He says if Jimmy doesn't get Jay back into the Bloodline, Reigns will blame him. Johnny Gargano goes out to the ring. The match begins with Finn Balor attacks Gargano. He knocks down Gargano. Balor works the arm of Gargano. Gargano with an arm drag on Balor. Balor knocks him down again and attacks him in the corner. Gargano sends Balor outside with a dropkick and hits a suicide dive. We come back from commercial break. Gargano fights back and knocks down Balor. He hits a clothesline on Balor and Insecurity. Gargano with a spear on Balor. Cover 1-2 kick out. He attacks Balor in the corner. He goes for a super kick, but Balor hits a sling blade. He goes for a drop kick, but Gargano hits a super kick and does it again. Cover 1-2 kick out. Balor plants Gargano with a reverse DDT. Cover 1-2 kick out. Balor dives on Damien and goes into the ring, but Balor stomps him. He hits a shotgun dropkick and climbs the rope. Edge's music comes on. Balor off the top rope. Gargano hits one final beat. Winner is Johnny Gargano with the help of Edge. Dexter Lumis takes out Priest. Edge spears Balor inside the ring. Edge exits into the crowd. Nikki Cross versus Piper Niven. We come back from commercial break. Byron backstage is interviewed Edge. He said they are starting to affect each other's careers. He says he will be in the ring alone next week to settle this as Balor to show up. So we go to the Piper Niven and Nikki Cross match. Blink and it was over, basically. Nikki attacks Piper from behind. The match can begin. Cross jumps on Niven. Cross hits a crossbody as the bell rings. Piper rolls out of the ring. Piper regains control of the match and knocks down Nikki. She slams Nikki for the win. Winner Piper Niven. Rick Boogs is backstage trying to deadlift a truck. Elias appears and asks for the notes from his match. He says he's inspiring millions of people. He says the only Boogs will learn if he gets out there and learns. He asks Boogs to challenge Bronson Reed. He does it, and Reed walks up to Elias and accepts the challenge. Elias tells Boogs he has a lot to learn. We go to commercial break. The moment we have been waiting for. John Cena. Before he could say anything, Austin Theory comes out, and Austin starts by saying he respects Cena. He says he became a WWE superstar because of John Cena. He says he has a gift for Cena. Theory says the gift is a one-on-one match at WrestleMania for the WWE United States Championship. John Cena denies the match. He says he took a second to think about. His answer is no. He says he's not interested in his gift because he hasn't earned the right to give it. He says he doesn't care about him because they don't believe him. He also says Theory doesn't believe in himself. He has no heart. He says he walked in his shoes and points to the sign. He says he's a John Cena wannabe. Cena says Theory is in his ruthless aggression phase, but he also didn't believe in himself. Cena says Theory has no heart and soul. He says He says they are out here out of respect because they believe, but they don't believe in you. He calls him a jabroni. Another word. If you don't think fucking Dwayne The Rock Johnson is going to be at WrestleMania, you are sorely mistaken. What I think is going to happen, finally, it's going to be at WrestleMania 40, and as soon as Roman Reigns loses, Cody's going to have his pomps and circumstances, which then is going to be clouded by The Rock coming out. Um, people's what is it called? Oh my God, I completely brain fart. Um, the People's Slam or something like that. I haven't. I'm lost on that. Cena says he has the best name in WWE history, but there's no better name than Austin Theory because he is a theory. He says, in theory, he is everything a WWE superstar should be, but no one cares, and he is wasting everyone's time. Cena says he would like to give him a gift, and he tells him to shut up and leave the ring. Theory says he is not going anywhere. He said he looks around and sees all these never give up t shirts, but he is giving up. Theory asks, where is the respect for the fans? Theory says he has a golden ticket to WrestleMania and he's going to give it up. Austin says the fans are right because heroes disappoint when you meet them. Cena says he would rather be bald than have them put in fake crowd noises for his match. He says he didn't say anything because gave and says Theory isn't ready. Cena say if he wins at WrestleMania, Theory is done. Cena says he would still lose if he wins because the fans see that he's full of crap, but he really left him no choice. He then asks the crowd if he wants to see the match. They want to see the match. The crowd cheers. He asks again, and they cheer again. Cena says he doesn't care about Theory, but he won't give up on the crowd. He then accepts the challenge for WrestleMania. He wishes Theory luck and walks away. He walks up the ramp. Theory isn't ready for WrestleMania, but Boston deserves to see someone who is and introduces the Nightmare, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. So I don't understand this. When I was reading this, they didn't do anything with Cody Rhodes. He was just out there. I mean, that's a little ridiculous. And Rhodes comes out, plays his music, and Cena kind of does like the passing of the torch. Like gives him his yep, I totally agree with this. Kathy Kelly interviews Sammy, who says Kevin is right, but everything has changed now. He says Jimmy's responsible to put him to the end, but he won't go anywhere until he sees this to the end of the bloodline. He sees the end of the bloodline. Chad Gable versus Baron Corbin. We come back from commercial. Baron Corbin is in the ring. The match begins. Corbin sends Gable into the turnbuckle. Corbin continues to attack Gable. Gable throws Corbin. He then hits the German suplex. Gable goes for a moonsault, but Corbin evades and hits the backbreaker. Gable locks in the ankle lock, and Corbin taps out. Winner, Chad Gable. We come back from commercial break. Becky Lynch and Lita go out to the ring, and she also comes out and they walk to the ring. Becky gets on the mic and says they are the new tag team champions. Lita says Becky gave her the opportunity. They made history. She thanks Becky, but there's a special person they haven't thanked. Trish Stratus. She comes out and she will always have Lita's back. She says she wouldn't have missed it for the world. Damage Control comes out. Bayley says they show when it's convenient. They get in the ring and she says she sees right through them. Trish and Lita are the reasons they are in the ring, but they will be the reason Trish and Lita don't come back. Trish says she could go from being retired to unretired and challenge them to a 6-woman tag team match, which Bailey accepts. They begin brawling. Damage Control are sent out of the ring, and Bailey is concerned. They attack Bailey, and she rolls out of the ring. Jimmy Uso is shown making his way to the entranceway backstage. We come back from commercial break. We have Jimmy Uso versus Sami Zayn. Jimmy Uso and Sami Zayn go to the ring. Sami jumps on Jimmy and attacks him. He sends him out of the ring. Jimmy sends Sami to the barricade. Jimmy is sent over the barricade. We come back from commercial break. Sami fights back. Jimmy Uso and hits a tornado DDT, cover 1-2 kick out. Zayn climbs the top rope and hits a crossbody on Jimmy Uso, cover 1-2 kick out. Sami sent to the outside of the ring. Solo caught trying to interfere and kicked out of the match. Zayn with a blue thunder bomb, cover 1-2 kick out. We come back from a commercial break. Both men are jockeying for position on the top rope. Jimmy is knocked down. Sami dives on him but is caught with a super kick. Jey Uso in the crowd, and he comes down to the ring. He gets on the table and cheers Jimmy. Sami goes for a haluva kick and misses. Then he rolls up Jimmy Uso for the win. Winner, Sami Zayn. Jey Uso gets into the ring and puts his hands on his shoulder. He then walks away and stares at Sami. He hugs Sami, and he then super kicks Zayn and sends him into the ring, and both attack him. Solo also comes out and attacks him. Cody Rhodes' music plays and comes out to rescue. And that's the end of Monday Night Raw. So that's the end of the week. Now, as I told you, I'm still covering Ring of Honor. I'm going to give it a month. If if I see the views, at least a good 5 to 10 views, I will continue doing it. But if not, I will just then add it to this, and that will be that. So, that is that. That is the entire week. I hope everybody is going to have a great weekend, and I am going to have a great weekend. I'm going to go see my son. Then I'm going to, I have stuff going on this week. So lots doing. I will be back here on Saturday for Ring of Honor Saturday, the second episode. So tune into that. It's gonna be a 30-minute video. You can basically like cook dinner or cook breakfast. It's gonna be appearing always at 8 a.m. in the morning. So it's gonna be something. It's gonna be in your sub boxes, and you're gonna be able to enjoy it whenever you want. What else that you could do whenever you want? You could go to these lovely people that I support. Please go check out harrys.com for all your shaving and toiletry essentials. Please go check out Maestro Classics for all your beard essentials at maestroclassics.com. Please go check out Liquid Death at liquiddeath.com. I tried the 2 iced teas, not too fond with them. I'm going to try the peach and the melon salsa water. So hopefully there's got to be a winner out of the two, you know. But you could go and get your own and you try for yourself. They've never steered me wrong when it comes to customer service and their original sparkling water. They also have canned spring water. So broaden your horizons. So go check them out at liquiddeath.com. They just released it today. It's an Irish whiskey coffee from Death Wish. So go check them out. They have a dessert line, which is gingerbread, pumpkin spice, and blueberry vanilla. I'm praying that they can get regular vanilla, like Vicious or Violet vanilla, hoping that. And you can get all your accessories and merch at liquiddeath.com. Not Liquid Death, deathwishcoffee.com. Please, programming note, if they've reconsidered, which I will make a post and put it on Twitter, the whole 9, please stay to your Twitter. You can follow me on there at Mel's Match Chat on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Go check me out on Snapchat and Facebook. Um, they will not be having House of Glory on for this event this coming Friday on March 10th. So heed my warning. But if you want to still go subscribed and pay $7.99 a month, you get a lot with your $7.99 a month. So go check them out. Also, go check if you want to go see the event in person. Go check it. Go get your see if there's any more tickets at hogwrestling.net. April 2nd is coming as quickly as like a blink of an eye. It's WrestleMania weekend, but it's also April is Autism Awareness Month. April 2nd is World Autism Awareness Day. It's very simple. Put on a blue shirt, put on a blue outfit, make blueberry pancakes, make blueberry ice cream, make suck on a lollipop. I need to see blue. Please tag me wherever you're going to post this. Tag me. Hashtag it. World Autism Awareness Day. We need to light up the entire social media with blue. My son is autistic. I'm an advocate. I have been an advocate before advocacy became cool. I want you to be the voice of the voiceless because I am. Let's shine this light on them. Light this day up in blue. Let's lay the smackdown on autism and make people aware of this because you don't know, maybe your boss, maybe your kid's teacher, maybe your kid's doctor has autism. Don't you want to be able to be educated on the cause? So please go educate yourself. Please take a selfie. Tag me into it. Hashtag it World Autism Awareness Day. And the entire month is World Autism Awareness Month. So if you can't do it on the 2nd, which I'm hoping that you can do, please just do it around the rest of the month. That's all I ask. What else I'm going to ask is please don't forget Saturday I will be starting Ring of Honor's the 2nd episode of their new launch. So go check that out. And I will be back here next week at 2 p.m. for episode 282. And we're going to be getting closer to WrestleMania and so much more. Please. I'm not going to discuss what happened with Vince McMahon there because I'm done. If you don't guys know that he's back in charge, he's back in charge. He's fucking goddamn saying, "Natty, natty, doo. What the fuck are you gonna do? You can't do nothing." That's exactly what he's doing. He's laughing at us. He's laughing at us. Time is ticking for Triple H. Guaranteed after WrestleMania, he's done. Vince McMahon will be back at the fucking gorilla, and you will all be like, "Damn, she was right." What else am I right? I'm getting the fuck out of here. I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow on Saturday at 8 a.m. will be the Ring of Honor Saturdays. I love you all. Have a great weekend. Mwah. Love you all. See you later. Bye-bye.